Evening, people. Welcome to BNR. I must wherever you can stay.
You know what? You should have stayed home today. We can't even hear you. There's something wrong with you. First you're late, and now we can't even hear you. And if I took a screenshot of your phone right now, you'd be laughing.
No, am I having a Wi-Fi problem?
You major Wi-Fi problems. You need to come back in, man.
Shall I come back in?
I think you're gonna have to. Sorry, if you can host instead. And you're on mute.
Guys, instead of
This is a great start.
please, we're on mute. It's been an absolute shambles of a start, but guys, welcome to the Born and Red YouTube channel. Obviously, we're alongside Jine, Saj Iqbal LFC, and Asim supposed to be here hosting, but I have to pick up the responsibilities again. They put it all on my shoulders, Jine. Every time they throw it onto me
because they know I can't host.
No, chalo, it's fine.
Right.
Guys, this is the pre-match, for Chelsea. Obviously, we're going to get into a lot of stuff about where Chelsea are, what Liverpool have been saying the last couple of weeks about our performances, the Jurgen Klopp news.
Can you hear me?
It's about Virgil van Dijk. Yes, I can hear you. Do you want to take over from me? I'll give you the toppy back. Here you go. Have a little sip, and then you can carry on the reins. You carry on the reins.
I was going to say, look, I'm sorry I'm late. Whenever, even the best make mistakes, even the best always are late. So whenever they are, then you must hold your hands up and accept your lateness or your mistakes. But yeah, good to have you back. I've never come into a stream with about 20 messages here, but I think half of them are from Chip saying they're always late, but we all know who's late and doing his hair about 5 minutes into our sort of scheduled time. But Liam says, big up, guys. But I think there's only one place to start. I've literally got in. Jean's told me that our captain, our leader in Virgil van Dijk has come and, sort of been very defiant because we live in a social media world. We live in the media is very sensationalized, where it's all about clickbait and it's all about headlines making. And this is why you even see Jurgen Klopp on a weekly basis, guys. Think about sometimes the way he actually answers those questions. Obviously, he's been here eight and a half years, but so many times inexperienced managers take the bait. And that interview was given on Sunday, straight after the game, and obviously he's come out today and clarified it. But Gene, when I'm gonna come to tonight's comments a bit later, but just rewind the clock to Sunday, and I was thinking maybe he could have been a bit more evasive, where 2 days after your manager has given that interview about leaving, because let's be honest, let's make no mistake, and remember that the players found out on, was it Friday morning as well?
Yeah.
The same time as us, more or less, just about an hour or two before. So I thought, you know what, maybe he should have just deflected it and said, look, business as usual, just like Curtis Jones, or just like everyone else is doing. But I have to sort of caveat that as well, where he's just come out of a game and he's emotional, and any day he's a human being as well. So just go back to Sunday and just tell me what you made of those comments when they came out.
My thoughts were the same, Asim, and I echo your words in terms of maybe you should have worded it slightly better and not giving a straight answer in terms of how he felt. Maybe, you know what, look, right now we're not really that bothered. We've got, we're going for 4 trophies, and that's what matters right now, and we can sort of deal with this later on. I think in terms of the fans, look, maybe there was a bit of an overreaction if you look back at it now, but
Gene, sorry to interject, was that your burner?
I wouldn't be using gents as if you know me better now.
Forget the Chip and Dale. Yeah. Forget Chip and Gene. That is the show. Gene and Chino.
That's not me, man. Anyway, look, I was saying, Asim, in terms of Van Dijk. Yeah, look, I echo your words. But the thing was, look, fans, we were already on edge. We were already emotional. And, if anything, we didn't need anything like that, because that was just going to really, really, in a way, hurt us even more. And it felt like that at the time that, bloody hell, maybe, he shouldn't have said that. And I echoed what he said. I was in the opinion that, he shouldn't have said that. But what the crazy thing was, when you actually read the full articles, the first thing I saw was that quote that these journalists put out. But when you actually look into it and you actually read the full article, it wasn't as bad as Van Dijk, was made out to look, sort of thing. But all in all, Asim, now, I don't know if you actually had a chance to listen to the 70-minute interview, but put it this way, any little doubt that anyone had, the captain hit him for 6. He's really, really put his foot down in terms of what he wants and he mentions how much he loves this club and how committed they are and how he loves the fans. Of course, look, he understands that it was a shock to the system, but he reiterates that he's the captain and we're going for everything, and that's what you want your captain to be coming out and saying. And yeah, he said that it was sort of taken out of context as well. But all in all, Asim, for him to come out now before the game and not let it linger on was the biggest thing. And I'm just so glad that it's come out now, bang, where he said what he needed to say. We have a huge game against Chelsea tomorrow, and this will just rile the troops in terms of the fans to go on a different sort of level when we walk into Anfield tomorrow.
Yeah, well said, Gene. Bashi's in the building. He says, yes, the boys, we're demolishing Chelsea tomorrow. Smash the likes and don't forget to subscribe. Show the BNR crew some love. You never walk alone, with a heart emoji. And we send that heart emoji back to you, Bashi. Sarib, have you got some of these quotations from Van Dijk?
I think this is from the interview that he had before. I think today he's come out and kind of cleared up. But this is what it says. It says, the club will have a big job on their hands. That is well known. To replace not only the manager but the whole staff, there will be many changes. I'm very curious to see which direction Liverpool will go in, but we will see when that decision is announced, and we'll see the situation. It will be the end of Jurgen Klopp's era. I'm still a part of it. That's why I don't like to talk about it, and that is my main focus. Hopefully, we will have the success we all dream of, and by then, probably there'll be more clarification about where the club wants to go in the future. Then we will see. That was Virgil van Dijk talking about if he's going to be part of the Liverpool next era. And then he said, that's the big question. I don't know. That was his comments before. And obviously now today he's come out and said, any rumors about me leaving the club or me being disinterested in the club. I think Fabrizio Romano put the tweet out. I will bring it up for you now so people have some sort of context. I can see why Liverpool fans were very nervous about Virgil van Dijk. Obviously, that just shows us that Klopp is such a big factor to this football club and how gargantuan he's been for Liverpool. That players like Virgil van Dijk came to this club over the likes of City, Chelsea, committed their long-term futures. Look, we're going to speak about the contract situation of Alexander-Arnold, Salah, but Van Dijk's come out and said, let's make this very, very clear. I'm 100% committed to this football club. I love the fans. This has been completely taken out of context. It's not about me. It's about us. 5 days ago, we weren't even talking about my contract, and now we are. It's a bit silly.
And that's what Jurgen Klopp said, didn't he? More or less, Sarib. But look, there are fans. A lot of fans. I called it a conspiracy on Sunday, Sarib. But there are fans saying, look, something's not right. All right, this all of a sudden that he had 2 years left on his contract. We understand that he's absolutely shattered. Yeah. But this is the script. This is the line that Jurgen Klopp and FSG are coming out with. I don't believe that his reasons are because of this, documentary. That's a load of bollocks. Do you think FSG are gonna risk their most prized asset? And I call him prized asset, and that's an understatement. The city's most prized asset, over a documentary that's gonna make him a couple of mil, and that's about it. But this guy obviously is not swayed by money. If he wanted money, he would have got a lot more money at his last contract as well. He said, look, don't worry about me, pay my staff more. But do you think over the last 2 days, even Rafa Benitez came out today, and it was a bit cryptic, Sarib? But did you see some of his comments today?
Yeah, I did.
I know the history, I know the sort of environment, I know what's happened here. Was he trying to tell us something?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Rafa Benitez does know a bit. But I'm obviously going to take that with a pinch of salt. Obviously, he was Liverpool's manager for quite a while. He won the Champions League with us. There's obviously still people at the club that were there at the time that he was there. I don't know who exactly, but he's obviously got some sort of links there, or somebody that was at the club at the time that's got links to the club now where they still communicate. But Rafa Benitez, this is what he had to say about the club leaving. He said, I have an advantage, which is which is that I have people in Liverpool and also people at the club. So what he's saying, he knows people currently at the club that know the whole situation. So more or less, I know how it has happened. I know something else from inside. It has more merit than being there.
Look, Asim, in terms of Rafa Benitez comments, one thing that I really want to say is, look, nobody had an inkling as to this news was going to come out for months. all of a sudden the whole world has got an opinion on who's going to come in, who's the sporting director, Rafa Benitez, all these guys. Where were you guys 3 months ago when Klopp told him, Asim, I take everything with a pinch of salt right now, because to be fair to the club, they have really like kept this under radar when nobody got a sniff. And for all of a sudden, these guys, whoever they are, start coming out. Oh, we put a bid in for. We contacted Edwards. We contacted him on the weekend. Come on, man. There's limits. If we really wanted, we've had relationship with Edwards in the past. We could have gone in for Edwards and when Tottenham was more or less going to leave in November. Yeah, we've had all this time. We could have approached people, but we didn't. There's limits, man, and I just will never buy all this crap right now that's coming out. Yes, there will be, of course, there's going to be wheels in motion in terms of finding new people to run this sort of club, but I'm just baffled. Look, I'm not saying I'm going to go at Rafa Benitez. Yeah, I loved him because he was a great manager. He won us the Champions League at that time, won us the FA Cup, blah, blah, blah. But cryptic messages coming out from a guy like Rafa Benitez 2 days after this type of news just doesn't sit right with me, if I'm honest with you.
Sarib, some people saying Rafa's not well. Rafa's knows nothing. Blue chips. He wants us to put some of his exclusive. Let's put an exclusive before we carry on. Before he starts throwing a tantrum on.
Virgil van Dijk will sign a free.
Virgil van Dijk will sign a 3-year contract in July. Blue chip.
That means Virgil van Dijk is leaving tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Let's repeat it. Van Dijk will sign a 3-year contract in July. Blue chip spoofer sports.
You know what he's going to say, Asim? I didn't specify the club that he was going to sign the contract at if he leaves. That's what he's going to say. That's exactly what he's going to say to us in July. If Van Dijk ends up at the Bernabeu, I didn't say he's signing a 3-year contract at Liverpool. He's going Real Madrid.
Again, it's bloody exclusive.
Love you.
What are your thoughts? Because you know, I wanted to, because you obviously basically dissect Klopp's interview A to Z. That's what you actually do. I know that's what you do. So, what were your thoughts on his actual interview today? Because he was like,
I thought he was a bit snappy today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was really direct. He was actually not snapping out of the journals, but like giving them really, really direct answers, saying it's because of you lot. You guys have been putting this out. You lot have been asking these questions. That even mentioned in terms of the fans. Our IQ levels ain't as low as you think. The fans know us, and they know more than practically telling them they know more than you.
Gene, we all love Jurgen Klopp, but I think he's playing not a game, but he's doing what he needs to do. Because at the end of the day, he's left with 2-3 months left of the season, and nobody expected it. Doesn't matter how much you come out in the public. Doesn't matter how much of a professional squad you are. Doesn't matter how many leaders you have in the squad. They're all still human beings.
Yeah,
they're human beings, and it's bound to affect them mentally. But it will and this is the reason why I think tomorrow is a massive, massive game. Do you really think it's a coincidence that we actually did that announcement on the Thursday and then on the Friday and got it out of the way on an FA Cup weekend? Imagine it happened on Monday and we were going into the Chelsea game. There was a reason. It was all choreographed for the FA Cup. And I'm not saying disrespecting Norwich, but we were always going to win that game. Doesn't matter which team we put out. But it's bound to affect the players somehow. And this is a result business. And he had to come out like this. And you can't blame the journalists if the best thing that I called him the prized asset, the main man is leaving out of the blue. And I don't really buy what David Ornstein and a few of the journalists are saying, that now we've done a bit of digging and then this was always going to in the pipeline. I get the contract situation where there was an unofficial agreement where the contract was up until 2006, but there's a gentleman's agreement that it might come to an end and they might review the situation and sit down and talk about it at the end of 2025. So technically, he probably went one summer early. That's what the story is coming out. And whether that's true or not, I don't know. But you can't blame the journalists now that the news has been received. And all of a sudden, you've got a manager going. Then you've got Trent, who's got 18 months left on his contract. You've got Van Dijk, 18 months. These are things have now ignited even more so because everything was calm. We were all, going for all 4 competitions, and we still are, obviously. But our manager was in charge, and that was the stability. Now, there's, we're going into a bit of an unknown area. We're going and we're looking for a sporting director. We're looking for a new manager, and our main players, the big guys, the big guns are in the last months, 18 months of the contract. And like I said, they are human beings. All of a sudden, it doesn't matter how professional you are, they're going to look at themselves and say, okay, how does this affect me? The manager's going. They want some assurances from the club. Who's going to come in? What's the plan? And how do we go forward? So, yeah. So, look, I don't blame, the journalists for asking these questions. But it's the manager's job to shut it down, because what Liverpool need is a business-like attitude at the moment. And that's what we need. And that's the only thing that's going to get us out of this, not pickle, but how we manage this situation.
Gene, do you have anything to say before? I wanted to add to some of Asim's
No,
points.
you say.
Okay. Do you think it's more so because you know how Liverpool are when we do business, even in the transfer market, we don't give much away. It's like we're linked with a player within an hour later, he's holding up a Liverpool shirt. I know the Fabinho and Jota, they will stand out quite a bit. So obviously, I think when news comes out of Liverpool, especially it being in the works since November, no one had a Scooby. No journalist had any scoop whatsoever. I'm talking about the closest. So Paul Joyce, Neil Jones, the guys that are even closest to Liverpool Football Club, they didn't even have a Scooby. Vinny O'Connor on Sky, they know nothing. No one knew anything. So Liverpool do this very, very well, where they keep internal matters within the club and don't let it get out into the newspapers. We're never in the newspaper. Liverpool are never in the headlines. When do you ever see Liverpool are in the headlines, like how Man United are, or Ten Hag's going to be sacked? Even when Klopp was off it last season, there was no news about. Very, very rare. Klopp's going to be sacked. Klopp's going to be replaced. FSG are going to try to replace. We don't let these things out of the club. Eternally, we're a very, very strong unit as a football club from the top to the bottom. But obviously, when news like this comes out, journalists are going to go all over it because Liverpool, no one really gets any news on Liverpool. So any news that we get, it's going to be exaggerated by 100 times. I don't believe for 1 second Liverpool are going in for Michael Edwards. I think that is absolute nonsense. It's very, very bad PR and lazy journalism for me that Liverpool are going in for Michael Edwards when we could have got him when Jurgen Klopp was there. Or there was nothing about that. There's nothing. They're just going to create stories and make it look 100 times worse. I think the club do very, very well to keep these things quiet because I look at the way we do transfers, even the managerial appointments, it's so quiet. Maybe now Alonso. I don't even think maybe we'll get Xabi Alonso because there's so much talk. We are a smokescreen football club and we do it very, very well.
100%. Let's go to a figure that was at the club, whether he got on well with Jurgen Klopp, whether he fell out, you guys will tell me. He goes by the name Michael Edwards. He's been making headlines again. We were just talking about journalists making the wrong headlines, but Michael Edwards has been making the headlines as well. And there was Fabrizio Romano that's come out, backed by David Ornstein, and said that we rang him on Saturday and we offered him a senior role, whether it's the director of football or something, alongside in the FSG camp. Where do you stand with it? My thoughts. I'm a bit skeptical.
Same. I'm exactly the same. And I think in terms of, look, he's moved on and we've moved on as well. And I think if we really wanted him, we would have gone in for him. I don't think deep down we went for him because I think deep down we know he's moved on. He's got his new business. I don't know how to. Avi will tell me how to pronounce the name of his company, and I know he's got the all band together in terms of what.
How do you pronounce it? Lotonics or something? I don't know.
Or something, whatever it is. Anyway, but he's got his band together. They're gonna do, it's all the sort of consultancy type of work, and crack on. That's what they're gonna do. For us to now go in and say that Ludonomics. There you go. Yeah. Obviously, it's going to be Avi.
Yeah, we are. He's playing the admin role today.
Yeah. I just don't believe that we would go back in for him, knowing full. We've had a relationship with Edwards for years. If we would have kept it in house, and we respect the fact that he's gone. He set up his own company. He wants to move on and carry on with what he's doing. Fair play. You crack on. I just think that it was a lot of tosh. And I know it's Ornstein and Romano's news and all that sort of stuff. But like you mentioned, there's going to be so much coming out over the next few weeks. And he was always going to be the number one name that was going to get mentioned as soon as this type of job or this type of stuff was going on at our football club, because he was, would I want him back? I'm not going to lie. Of course I would. We know he did an amazing job here, but we've moved on, and I think we will get in next week. Look, we're in good hands, right now, Asim. We've got, in terms of the team and everything, we're in good hands. If we bring in the right sort of manager who brings in the right sort of stability, we bring a defense, we bring in a proper sporting director, we do things right. And even Jurgen Klopp alluded to that in his interview as well today, in his presser, that, to do things right, and he is 100% convinced that we will do it right and we will make the correct decisions. So you still have to, you've got to accept it, because one thing that you have to give a lot of credit FSG for is off the field, bar the signings, they're untouchable to an extent, Asim. They've done everything right, from the stadium, commercially, everything. They've grown the football club. Yes, and people will say a lot of it is down for Jurgen Klopp. Yes, to an extent it is, but they've done a lot right. And I've gone to town on them, but you have to give credit where credit's due. So in terms of Edwards, Asim, look, he's moved on. We crack on.
Mohammed Kibria, who's he's always in the chat. He's always in dialing in on the Saturday night. He's a regular and a mainstay in the BNR WhatsApp group as well. And he says Edwards 2.0. But Gene, so Sarib, Gene and I are a bit skeptical. We think, with all due respect, I think this is all news, bit of clickbait stuff, whether it's PR, call it what you want. I don't. Why do we call Michael Edwards on Saturday night, knowing that Jurgen Klopp has told us in November? That's what my point is. I just feel that, I don't know. I just don't see Liverpool going back. If whatever you think of FSG, they don't make that public, and they only go to Michael Edwards and approach him, knowing that he's going to accept the job in open arms. I think there's something behind Michael Edwards in terms of his personal circumstances. Obviously, now we know with his own company. But I wanted to ask you, Sarib, is we're going back to a sporting director. George Schmatke apparently is leaving in a week or so. I think Liverpool will announce this new sporting director in the next 3-4 weeks before we announce a new manager. But do you see Liverpool going back to basics, back to the drawing board, as in, over the years, there's been talk about Jurgen Klopp engineering a lot more control at the club. And this is maybe the reason why these people, Julian Ward, leaving after 6 months. But now Jurgen Klopp has gone, that influence, that power that you naturally build up over the years is leaving. Now we need the business people, the right people in the right roles to come together and strive for Liverpool, making Liverpool great again. Well, not great again. We are great always. But as in starting the new journey, if you like.
Yeah, I think you worded it very, very well, Asim. I think a lot of Liverpool fans have the same questions. But before I give my opinion on this, guys, we've got over 150 people in here. Please,
well said.
Whoever's in here, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. We're doing show after show after show. We got Chippendale on Fridays. We got Sarib and Asim calling on Saturdays. We got we got the actual big shows with all four of us, the four horsemen, on Sundays. And we got the pre-match for Chelsea. We got a post-match tomorrow. Guys, content is coming your ways. Just like, subscribe, share it to your friends, share it to your uncles, aunties, grandmas, whoever it is. Make them all watch. Hey. No, look. I think that's the question for all Liverpool fans. Who is coming in charge? I think we would all love Michael Edwards back. We would love him back. And I think if we're going to believe the reports, he's going to have much more control. So when the next manager comes in, he's going to have more of a head coach role. But look. I don't know. Liverpool, as much as we look at them on the footballing side, we have to look at the business side as well, because a lot of business things are changing within the club, from the top to the bottom. The guys that are going to organize the transfer, players, new contracts. It's all going to be new. Forget the coaching for a second. The guys at the top are changing as well. We're getting a new sporting director who's going to deal with the transfer, players, contracts, how long the contracts are going to be for, etc. So these things like this matter. How much revenue we make, and we've dropped revenue. We've dropped revenue as well. I think we were second or third last year. Now we're sixth. I can't remember the correct value, but someone can find it for me. But look, I think that's going to be the main appointment for me. That's why I think we're going to appoint a sporting director. That's why they're doing it first, because that will show us the direction the club headed in. And for the manager that's going to come in, he's going to also see, or she.
I mean, how much of a say does the new sporting director have in appointing the new manager?
I think it's going to be absolutely massive. That's why I think there is some talks already that have happened. We're getting this Tim Steiden, I don't know how to say his name, but he does have links to Xabi Alonso. He does have links to Bayer Leverkusen, some of the players at the club as well. So that does go hand in hand. It might be lazy journalism, it might be not, but when talks like this start to get a bit more evident, you start to look at it like, this and this adds up. But I don't know. But I think that's going to be the most important thing for Liverpool, is appointing the right person at the top and then letting the person who comes in to coach the players be the right appointment. And I think we're going to have a proper view of it very, very soon. Maybe not now, maybe not in the next 2 weeks, maybe not in the next month, but certainly before the end of the season, I think we'll know who will be in charge of this.
But in terms of Sarib, I think one of the, I think they've Liverpool have alluded to this as well, that analytics is key for us, and I think they've actually, one of the main guys, I forgot his name now, saying he's actually leading I forgot his name. Somebody will probably mention him.
Spearman,
just gone now. But anyway, he's that it is going to be like a bit of an analytical led appointment. Look, I'm all for that. I'm not going to go against it. But whoever we appoint as him, he has to, and have his favorite word, he has to have the order. A spearman, that's it. He has to have the order of managing this football club, and that is key. And this is why, look, I know there's other managers linked. Yes, they can be, the analytics make sense. But if you can't manage big names, then that's an issue. So this is why you need somebody who's going to be big enough, strong enough, who's been there, done it. When I say been there, done it, not done it in terms of managerial sense. I mean, been there, done it in terms of respect. That these players, like the likes of Van Dijk, Trent, and these guys, when this player walks in or this manager walks in, there will be respect from every single person at the football club, and that's another very, very important thing. Because nowadays we've seen from other clubs, other teams, respect from players is hardly there anymore. Players tend to do what they please, and we've seen that with other clubs. We work differently. We are run differently, so we have to nail it.
Yeah, 100%. There's plenty of people asking about and talking about the team lineup. We're going to come to that shortly because we've got a small matter of playing the Blues. So we'll sorry.
Walk in the park. We're gonna walk them all over the park tomorrow.
we ever beat
otherwise?
I know I've said this for the last 7 times. It's been 0-0, 1-1, 0-0, 1-1. I just want more than one goal in the game.
But look, Gene, do you agree with me though? I think we sort of box this sporting director off in the next 3-4 weeks, because these guys need to sort the preseason out. I think Jurgen Klopp touched on it in that interview, didn't he? That we've still sorted the preseason out. Whoever comes in, whether they rip it up, I don't know. It's up to them. But in terms of summer targets, we have to get the ball moving. And I don't want to be in this position where we were in this summer. I know it's worked out with the signings of Endo, who's come in and done a decent job. McAllister, Szoboszlai, who hit the ground running straight away. But we can't be in that summer position in the summer again, where everything's late and we've not done that word again, Uchin, done the groundwork.
100%. There is no chance we can do that. That's like suicide. If we leave everything late again, you just can't take any chances, especially with a new manager. It's basically changed from top to bottom. And in a way, I understand. This is another reason why I get. And people are saying, "Oh, why announce it now?" That's the reason why. Because what you want to do is you want to be able to announce it, and then the work can sort of start. And now I'm confident that the board will get it right. Honestly, I've got no issues. I think they will get it right. I think they will appoint the right person. I think they will move pretty quickly. Going by Hogan's interview the other day, I felt as though they've got this sort of not wrapped up, but they know what they're doing. Put it that way, they know what they're doing, and I'm confident, and Klopp was confident as well. So as long as the wheels, if they're in motion, then I'm all for it, and I think we'll get it done. Right now, Asim, you've mentioned Chelsea. We have 2 huge games coming up, even more so with obviously Arsenal winning today, and momentum going into that Arsenal game is massive, and it starts tomorrow, and it's a massive game, one where we have to be at our best. We've Sarib mentioned 7 draws in the last our last 7 games over the last, was it over 90 minutes? Obviously, I know we won the cup games, but history will tell you that this is one of the toughest fixtures for both sides, regardless of form, and regardless of which team's doing well. When we weren't that great, we used to always give them a game, and they'll want to put even mentioned in his presser. He goes, "We're not here for we come here for emotional goodbyes to Jurgen Klopp. We're here to win a game." And they will come to try and win a game. They always give us a tough game. But I think it's really important tomorrow. We need to make that crowd tomorrow, has to be 110% on it.
I've got a feeling that it's going to be like a Champions League night tomorrow.
100%, Asim. It's a Wednesday night. It's a Wednesday night. You've gone again. Can't hear you properly. Your Wi-Fi is playing up. It's a Champions League atmosphere. You know, under the lights, you can just sense something is brewing. We've got massive games coming up, 17 finals, and whatever game, Anfield is going to be a cauldron of noise from now till the end of the season in every single game. And I'm lucky that I'm able to go to pretty much all the games, so I can't wait to go and experience that, because what the fans are going to have to put up is atmosphere that Anfield's never sort of experienced. And I genuinely believe that anybody that turns up to Anfield, and if the crowd turn up, and I know I'm actually sure, Asim, we will turn up, and the lights of Anfield are going to blow every single time. So, you know, I'm going into this game, I'm with Sarib. We're giving it to him tomorrow. I just have this feeling we're giving it.
It's a fine line, though, where you can blow them out of the park under the lights, to use Gene's term. But the other side of that line is showing a bit too much emotion.
Are you ever going to get off that fence, Asim? Are you ever going to just one time jump?
I'm the host. I'm devil's advocate here.
As much as we've drawn 7 times, I'm confident. I don't know if you saw it, what Ibu Kanate came out and said. He said, when he said he was leaving, in my mind, I was like, oh, in these last 4 months, I am going to give my life for him now.
Wow.
That's what Ibu Kanate said. So
as much as Ibu for you, isn't it?
Go on, Ibu.
As much as we're talking about Virgil
Ibu's mentality reminds me of myself.
Ibu Kanate doesn't sit on the fence. That's going full throttle.
he sits on wingers. That's good enough for me.
Look, I like this. The players don't seem to be down about it. As much as we saw the Van Dijk stuff, he's came out and cleared that today. Ibu Kanate has come out and said this today. That's why I think tomorrow is going to be so important. Norwich City, we were always going to win. Tomorrow, actually, is it today? Tomorrow, in an hour is tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to have a clear vision and clear identity of what we will see from Liverpool Football Club. First game under the lights, under Jurgen Klopp. It's going to be a cauldron, like you said. Chin puts it beautifully, like a Champions League game. It's just going to, as much as you say no, it's going to be about Jurgen Klopp. And for the first couple of games, it will be. And then the midpoint of the season, it will die down. And then the end of the season, it'll pick up again, similar to what happened with Bobby Firmino. But it's going to be so important. The start that we make in the game is going to be so important. Are we going to have these nerves we did against United, against Arsenal? Are we going to start like a house on fire? And look, Asim sits on the fence, and maybe I'm sitting on the fence. But I think we're going to give them a proper roll.
We're going to absolutely batter them.
Here we go, Asim. There we go.
We're going to absolutely batter them.
Sometimes
I like to set you up, Sarib, but you saw that coming. Liam says, yes, I love those quotes from Ibu. He's going to put his life on the line. If Ibu is telling us he's going to put his life on the line, like, I want to ask Ibu, like, what does he do now? Because that is putting his life on the line. If he's going to tell me he's going to increase his performance by 5-10%, then I'm all up for it. I'm all in. But Liam says, yes, I love those quotes from Ibu. Going to put his life on the line for the last 4 months for Klopp. And Dico says, smash the likes, people. These lads are always brilliant. Thank you very much. Big up to Ant. The crowd. Donut says the crowd is going to be more intense than ever. Gene, talking about identity, we know how we're going to play. How do you see Chelsea playing?
You know, I was looking at their side in terms of, you know, who they've got out and who's going to actually start. I didn't know Cole was injured. You know, Fofana's obviously not going to be playing because he's out for a while. James is obviously not going to be playing. There's Lavia, obviously, he's another one that's not going to be playing. Colwell's going to be out as well. So that's another. But I think they've got Chilwell back now, so he'll probably start on left-hand side. Look, Chelsea actually play good football at times. They're a weird side. At the start of the season, I think the first 10 to 12 games, they were the side that created the most chances. They just couldn't finish. And there's obviously news that you know, Nkunku's back. I think Gusto's back as well for them tomorrow. So it's gonna be it's not gonna be an easy game. They've always, you know, they've got quality players. You know, Enzo and Enzo Caicedo and Palmer as well. That's a good midfield. Yes, they might not be fully ready and fully on form, but these guys can turn up and hurt us. So I think they will come out and play football. They're not going to come and sit back. That's not the way. And I can't see Poch coming to sit back. But I'll be interested to say who actually plays on the wing. Will Mudryk start or in terms of on the left hand side with Sterling or who actually starts? And then they've got in centre back pairing. If he goes with a 4, I think honestly, Asim, if he goes with a 4, and I think 9, I'm pretty certain he will. I think Darwin Núñez is going to take him to the cleaners. I just got
Wow.
this feeling. Even with Thiago Silva, get him on the back foot, bang, and get Darwin Núñez going at these Chelsea players, and he will, because their defense isn't great. They're decent, but they're not great. They can be got at. So if we play the right game, we can hurt these guys.
We've got just under 200 people in the chat. Smash a like, guys, and subscribe if you haven't already. We've got a friend, a big brother, a small.
Get him on, man.
You've
been waiting for him. Where's he gone? He needs to come
say
on.
get him on. I'm waiting for my
right laugh with him.
I've done a show with him. You know that I've done a show with him.
Oh yeah, right laugh.
On the football terrace. I've done a show with him on football terrace.
Someone messaged me about a couple of months ago. Asim, you're coming on my channel, and I'm still waiting for a reply. I'm still waiting for my invitation. So he gave me a little tease, and that's about it. Then I text him.
He's waiting for an invitation from you as well, though.
Yeah. He gave me a long schedule. I can't make it Monday. I can't make it on Tuesday. I can't make it on Wednesday. And he gave me about an hour slot on Friday evening. I'm only joking. I'm just exaggerating. But we will soon get the Don on our channel, and we will go over to his as well. But big up to my brother who's in. I miss those. What did he call them? Football Wars spaces on Twitter, daily ones. But you have to respect his grind and go over to his channel and give him a like as well. Wants me to invite. Wants me to invite myself to BNR, but I'll be in touch, Don, and hopefully you'll become a regular on the channel as well. But big up, and like I said, go over and smash a like and subscribe to his channel for all the great work he's doing over there. Sarib, how do you expect Chelsea to come out? Pochettino plays the football the right way. He had some kind comments about our manager, but do you think Chelsea come and set up their stall like United did and try to catch us on the counter? Or do you think they've got a manager who likes to play the football the right way, like I say, and catch us on the break? Or are they going to come out and play front football? How do you see it going?
Look, I like Pochettino. I think he's a good coach. I think he works well with young players. I liked his identity at Tottenham Hotspur. And I think he's one man that always plays football the way he wants to play. And that style never changes. Chelsea are they're attacking team. I just don't think he has the correct personnel. I don't see that changing. Liverpool this season, as much as we sit here and say we are this amazing team, we are still lacking that person in the middle. That's number 6. If we're not in control of the possession, we can get our midfield, and we saw it.
Back on because you've mentioned we're lacking a number 6. We ain't lacking nothing right now. We're talking
let me finish. Tomato. Let me finish. Look. We saw it at Stamford Bridge. I'm going to be positive because I think we are in control, and we are in control. Our midfield looks very, very good. But to say we can't be got at, we can. We do concede a lot of chances. We do. We concede some chances. I get it. And with the players Pochettino has, the likes of Cole Palmer, likes of Nicholas Jackson, likes of Mikhailo Mudryk, they will cause us problems. And we saw it last season. Mudryk was good off the bench against us last season. Cole Palmer is a good player. Nicholas Jackson's a good player. When we played them at the Bridge, they were Chelsea were very good in the game, as much as we could see the imbalance in midfield, and that's changed absolutely. I think we will be in control of the game. I'm speaking about how we could get got at, not that we are going to get got at. And that's what I like about Pochettino, a very pragmatic coach, a very, very attacking minded coach. He likes to work with young players, and his plan is his plan. He doesn't change his plan. Chelsea needs
carry on.
That's fine. Go on.
No, go on.
Chelsea need to start the game well. And I think if they start the game well, they'll be looking at this like we can get something out of this. In the atmosphere, especially when Jurgen Klopp's departure announcement, first big game under Anfield under the lights. If Chelsea start well, they will start to believe. And they have goals in them. They've been scoring quite a few goals recently, and I think they're 4 or 5 games unbeaten in the league as well. So
they have had some friendly fixtures.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, but that's how you build confidence in the team. That's how you do.
100%. No doubt they've got a bit of momentum. No doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think there's someone in their team that's got something to prove? You talk about a Klopp announcement. He made some sort of announcement back in December when we opened the newsstand, and he had a little dig or two at some players going over towards the Bridge. But in player is Moises Caicedo. Do you think that he's coming up with a point to prove that I made the right choice going over to Chelsea? But he's a good player. But do you think that he's gonna be up for it tomorrow?
Go on, Gene, you have this one.
No, look, in terms of Moises Caicedo, look, he's a great player. I wanted him. We were willing to pay big money for him. And you know what? If no one's going to sit here and say they still don't want Moses Caicedo, because I think he will come good. He's just gone to a side that's not really fighting, like Sarib mentioned, and it's going to take him time to adjust to the place, all that. There's so many new players, new manager, new ideas. There's a lot going on at Chelsea, but he will come good.
Yeah.
But in terms of tomorrow, I'll see how good he is tomorrow. In it, that crowd, I think tomorrow is going to be something that I'm telling you now. Not many players will have faced a crowd like that. You can just smell it. It's flag day. You'll see the clock with his flags. It's going to be a special night. And I can sense it that, we're going to blow him away. Moses Caicedo, great player. I like him. Everybody likes him. But tomorrow, mate, you're getting it. And that's just the way. And I'm confident about this game. And you know what? Probably I shouldn't. I know Itzaz mentioned, you shouldn't count your chickens before they hatch. Yes, you shouldn't. It's Chelsea. We've always sort of struggled. But tomorrow, there's a sense of belief within this team. There's a sense that we can go and beat anybody when you turn up to any game. And we have something even more to play for now. And that's Jurgen Klopp, because he's going to be going. So this team right now, with what's on the line, I think we're going to actually. We're gonna put up his favorite word. We're gonna put up a clinic.
I think Asim as well. I think in the last Chelsea are unbeaten in the last 3 visits to Anfield. I think the last time we beat them was our title-winning season at Anfield.
Yeah.
Since then, I think we lost to them. We've drawn a couple games. So I think tomorrow is a chance to put some wrongs right as well, especially with our recent record against Chelsea. Everyone's been doubting us. Oh, this is the most boring fixture in the league. It's going to be 0-0, whatever. It's time to just put some doubters.
Sarib, how do you see Enzo Fernandez's role tomorrow? The bits of Chelsea I've seen this season, I'm a bit perplexed by Pochettino's build-up. I think I like Enzo Fernandez controlling the game. I don't think Caicedo controls the game like Enzo does, but he likes him a lot further up the field. He wants him the edge of the box. And what was that game? I know it was at home to Middlesbrough, but he's the one who goes. But I think that he's a bit more conservative tomorrow, where Caicedo and Enzo are a bit closer to each other. And then Palmer, just like Avi's saying, because that was my next question to you, he is a player that we have to look out for, that he's going to float in that number 10 positions. He can put a shift in, he can go left, he can go right, and he's got a goal in him. And he's very cultured, very technical as well. And he's deceptively quick. And he's proven to be a decent signing, a very good signing for Chelsea at 40 million. Some eyebrows were raised. But how do you see us handling him when they've got the ball and he's going to go into those spaces of pocket? We have to pay attention to him.
Yeah, I do think Enzo Fernandez is a good player, someone who I wanted at Liverpool as well. I think when we were linked to him, I was impressed with him at the World Cup as well. But he played much deeper at the World Cup, and I think Pochettino in the last couple of weeks, especially, has been trying to utilize him further up the pitch because he does have attacking qualities as well. But like you say, tomorrow I think it will be a lot more conservative because Chelsea do not want to get caught in the transition. They do not want to be. They don't want to be caught up too many men up the pitch and then be counter-attacked, because Liverpool at home, we are the best counter-attacking team in Europe, I'd say. In transition, we are the best team in Europe, I think. So I think for Chelsea, they will be more conservative, and I think Enzo Fernandez will not be playing at the tip of the centre forward. The one player you mentioned who I'm slightly worried about is Cole Palmer. He reminds me a lot like Phil Foden, the way he plays. He picks up the pockets off the right, off the left, and we've struggled against players like Phil Foden in the past. I remember he's got a couple of goals at Anfield as well, a couple of goals at the Etihad. Cole Palmer is someone we need to watch, and he's in good form. The guy's 9 league goals. It's more than some of our players as well. So
yeah,
we got to make sure that we control him because he is the man in form at the moment, one of the league's form players. He's got an England call up. He's going to be wanting to prove something because he wants to maybe show Pep Guardiola that I should have been playing in the Man City team. I can challenge your title contenders. I can play in the top level games and perform. He's gonna have something to prove, and that's anything good about Chelsea will come through him. Enzo Fernandez as well, but I think we won't see the best attacking performance from him. More so, Cole Palmer.
Question for you, Asim, in terms of obviously the midfield. This is going to be a proper battle in the midfield. If you look at their 3 midfielders and our 3 midfielders, and I'm assuming obviously Dominic Szoboszlai will start tomorrow with Jones and McAllister. How do you see that actually playing out? And in terms of what positions they will play?
Who Jones and who?
In terms of going forward and dropping back, because obviously they can hurt us and we can hurt them. Because you mentioned Enzo. Where do you see him playing tomorrow?
Look, I think we've got sort of variations in our attack, in our setup. We've got a lot of rotations as well. We probably have more flexibility. I'm not saying we play better football without Salah, but we've got more flexibility, and there's a need for it as well because we don't have a natural right winger. And especially when you have a player in Salah who plays 99.9% of the games, whenever he's out, we have to do something. So the dynamics and the responsibility of fluidity sort of changes, and people need to take that burden. So we'll see. I think Szoboszlai starts tomorrow, so we will see some natural width from him. I think Trent. I think he starts because Mo's asking, is Conor Bradley or Trent going to play? There's your answer. I've not received any team. Well, I might have, but that's my own opinion that, Trent will probably start. I think that 20, 30 minutes he got at the weekend was crucial. So in terms of our setup, Gene, Pochettino, apart from the variations that I've just talked about, the natural ones, we know and everyone knows how we're going to play at Anfield. And if you're good enough, beat it. So, they need to worry about us. Obviously, we need to pay respect to him. Kanate will probably look after if Modric's on the left and if Trent is inverting, we will make sure we cut the space out. But in terms of how we set up, just the way we are, McAllister in the 6, Jones on the left, and Szoboszlai on the right, and Trent inverting. And it's all about gaining control and getting those sort of, numerical advantages in the middle of the park. Liverpool know how to play. We will play. There's only one way we play. If you're good enough and you're brave enough, then be that.
And in terms of the front three, with this game, are we sticking with Diaz, Nunes, and Jota from the right?
Liam says there's an exclusive. Alisson starts.
Really?
Oh, blue chip. He's asking for another pin. How many comments does he want to pin? Martin Jones, Gravenberg.
Now he's tried to be an ITK, failed. He tried to be, recently I've seen him try to be like a flipping, what do you call him now? A scout, and got nothing on. Now he's trying to get the team lineups right. Asim, you must have told him the team if he's been doing something.
I don't tell anyone. You know that I don't tell anyone the team. You bash my line.
He's just a chancer like always,
Huh?
He's just a chancer.
Bob Paddock asks a good question. Robbo won't start for a few weeks. He's out for too long, but there's been a few comments saying we want Robertson.
No.
We
cannot have Robbo and Trent, both of them, to come back in, two fullbacks to come in a game like this. We will go with Gomez tomorrow, and then Trent will start.
Asim, I don't even see Robertson starting the Carabao Cup final. Honestly, I don't see it. I think Robertson's gonna take. I think we can, because of the form of Joe Gomez. I think we can take time with Robertson now. Robertson will be on. I think in the next couple weeks, even against Arsenal, I think Joey Gomez will keep his left back position. I think in the Carabao Cup final, he's gonna go with Joey Gomez. Tomorrow, he's gonna go with Joey Gomez, and I don't see why you drop a player in form. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And Klopp's done this before. Tsimikas was in incredible form 21-22. Robbo was out injured. He took Tsimikas straight out and put Robertson back in. To me, I understand, but players, he was in form. Tsimikas.
Robbo was on a different level. Was playing.
No, he started that season really poor. He started injured as well. Tsimikas was playing really well. Yeah. 21-22. Tsimikas got assist against Burnley. He was very good against Norwich.
Come on, man. But Robbo
that's what I say. If I'm a player, I want to be able to give it a chance. And if I play well, why am I going to be taking out the team? And that's one of the reasons why I can see Robertson coming back into the team, but I don't see why Klopp would do it, because Joey Gomez has been so good, especially the fact that we've had Robertson and Trent injured. I don't see both of them starting. If it's gonna be Trent or Robertson, I would say Trent, because Trent's further ahead of in his development at the moment. Robertson's just come back from an injury that he was out since October. Joey Gomez's form again is really, really good. So I guess we'll see. I think we're going to get onto the guy that we're all excited about to see back.
He's been mentioned a few times
already. Don't worry, lads. We're going to get onto him in a second. Don't worry.
Well, before we go to, I'll come to your predictions later on and get involved. Chat. Send us your predictions for tomorrow night. Gene, Sarib, you mentioned him. Let's start with you. Thiago. He did a first day of training yesterday, I think he was. What a sight. And Jurgen Klopp actually was not raving about him, but he mentioned the level or he was at even after a long time. But then he straight away, sort of calmed everyone down and said he needs a lot of time. Do we see Thiago ever again in a Liverpool shirt?
Yeah, but no, I don't think we're going to see him until the next 3-4 weeks. I think he's got another month of proper training and rehab to really do. I think we might see him on some benches, but maybe not on the pitch. I think just to give the fans a little bit of a buzz. And he has our fan base on ropes, including myself. I have never seen a Liverpool fan base be so excited about seeing a player return to training in the history of this club, other than Thiago Alcantara. Every time this guy gets in and comes back, the buzz around the fan base is incredible. And I tweeted this: my day could be so shit. If I see Thiago back in training, it puts a smile on my face.
Sarib, there's plenty of fans who are just sick of it, saying, look, don't even mention his name. What's the point talking about a player and sort of wax lyrical in terms of how good he is, but he's never available?
Absolutely. Availability is the player's best ability. But I don't know, Thiago's got some sort of crack in him. I'm telling you, he's got crack. Like, I'm just addicted to seeing him play football. And I think, I genuinely, I think he is one of the best midfielders to play for this club, technical ability. And as much as you say, I said this on a few shows as well, Sim, and I know you are Mr. Tactical as well. He doesn't rely on pace. He doesn't rely on, all of his play is technical, and no matter how many times he will get injured, he will never lose that. That's just pure raw ability. He doesn't rely on running in behind or working, being a workhorse. He can sit as the 6, play left to right with pure class. He's had hip surgery as well. So he's got a new hip, by the way. We're gonna see more of them Thiago tests, but this time he might not get any more injuries. And I'm not gonna make blow my own trumpet here. But I think Thiago Alcantara stays fit until the end of the season now.
Gene, we've seen it, like people, Rafael Nadal, hip injury, Andy Murray, new hip in tennis, and they never ever reached that level. But Thiago was so above in terms of level, in football on the field, that even if he comes a notch or two down, he's still a world-class footballer.
He's different level, Asim. And to be honest, it's a joy. The few times that we were able to see him play, it's been a complete joy. What an unbelievable footballer who's Sarib mentioned, technically, he's just on a different scale. He sees things nobody else can see. He passes, you can't get close to him. And when you do, he pops it off there, left, right, both feet. You want a 40, 50 yard ball, you're able to play that ball. He's just a wonderful footballer. It's just a shame that we never got to see him play because of his injuries. And look, if he's able to give us 10 games to the end of the season, I will be over the moon, because them 10 games. Look, I'm not saying change the system now because of him, because no. But if he comes back and plays to any sort of level that we've seen, then an unbelievable player to have in the next 20 games that we've got, from including every other lesser Europe.
I think it's a bit of perspective, Gene. If this lad can get fit, match fit, and I'm glad we've got the FA Cup games as well, the Europa League games as well.
Yeah.
And he can play a role. And then in the league, I think come on last 20
Yeah,
minutes.
no, I'm not saying start 10 games, by the way. I'm not saying start 10 games. I genuinely believe now, Asim, for him, and when I say 10 games, it's probably coming on for 20 minutes in a game. Probably come on 20 minutes to control the game at the end, where it's getting a bit rowdy in there and stuff, and it's like we have an end-to-end type of game. He comes in, he brings a calmness to our play. And that's what we need at times, because this is going to be a bit of a ride that we're going to go on. And we're going to need some heads that are cool heads. I know we all want to go all gun-ho, but there's times where you need a Thiago to take the sting out of the game. And, it'll be... And plus, I think every Liverpool fan, and Lachlan mentions Thiago and Maka is a mouth-watering prospect. I think we deserve to see one game where we see Thiago, Szoboszlai and Maka play, just so we see how well they've done, because I think it'd be a joy to watch.
Might be slightly off topic, right? I know you two obviously go to the games a lot more than me. You have cars and you don't have people to give you tickets. But no, guys, you guys go to a lot of games, and you've seen quite a few Thiago Alcantara performances. Were you there for his performance against Manchester United, the 4-0? Did you see the masterclass he put on? Did you see his goal against? Was you there for the Porto game, the goal he scored?
I don't think I was at the Porto game. Were you at the Porto game, Gene?
Yeah.
I think you were.
Yeah.
You were
the half volley.
Yeah.
Ridiculous technique, and it's stuff like that. No matter how many times I get annoyed with him getting injured, I get so annoyed at him. But then I look at him and I'll be like, oh, he did that. Wow, please come back home. Please come back home. It's like a toxic ex-girlfriend that you can't get rid of. That no matter how many times she leaves, when she comes back, it's the best feeling in the world. And now he's back again. And I'm just sucked back in again.
Oh,
guys.
what a
Thiago
comparison.
Alcantara, man. What
Well,
can
I
we
think is money. I think every Liverpool fan has learned that you manage expectations when it
Yeah.
comes to Thiago. That's all we do. And the good thing about Liverpool this season, we've just sent our best player, albeit he got injured in Africa on international duty. That we're scoring a lot of goals, and the results show that we're not missing him, and we're not missing Thiago. But Thiago is such a player that he'll improve any team, he'll improve any squad. And like I said, it's managing expectations. He comes in and he controls games because, like you guys have mentioned tonight, there'll be plenty of emotion tomorrow. And the emotion sort of will be cranking up even more so on a weekly basis. And we just need someone to put his studs on the ball and calm everything down. But you're right, Gene. The moment him and McAllister share 5 minutes together, I give it, no, not even 5 minutes. I give it about a minute and a half where the Klopp will just come out with Liverpool taking the piss. That's all it'll be. It'll take a minute and a half because
it will be poetry in motion, Asim, man. That's what it is.
well, we won't start that because we've already been here for 55 minutes. But Avi goes, me and Gene were
Yeah,
at the
we were.
Porto game. They were. First time I met the gay. I thought, you know what? When he must have been gone to the loo. Mind you, he's always messaging on the loo as well. But anyway, enough of Chip's private life. Let's go back to the game, boys. I have to ask you for your predictions. Give me your predictions, not with your hearts, with your minds.
Gene, you want to go first?
3-0.
Aye.
His heart would have said 10-0. Sarib, give me your scorers tonight, man. Give me your scorers.
Go on, Gene.
Darwin Nunes 2 and Diego Jota.
Diogo.
No, Diego to me.
Plenty of 3-1s, 4-1s, 4-0.
Oh, yeah.
2-1, Liam. 2-0, sorry. 3-0. We always concede, Sarib.
I know I said this to you against Norwich as well, but I don't think we concede tomorrow. I think I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool. I'm going to go with Diogo Jota and
Say Darwin Nunes.
Ibu Kanate.
He still can't say Darwin Nunes, can Asim? He still can't say Darwin Nunes. I'm surprised.
Fine. Darwin Nunes.
Well, I'm glad he didn't say Gakpo because it would have started another 50-minute debate. And because there's no chance we don't concede 4. We don't concede 4-1. No chance we don't concede 4-1.
I think you meant to put a comment between them.
His predictions 4-1.
All right, okay. Well, we've got some optimists in the chat. KZ 6-0. We're hitting Chelsea for 6 tomorrow. 3-0 Darwin Nunes and 2 and McAllister. That'll be nice. If McAllister can replicate that Tella he scored. Who's that Tella against? Fulham. Yeah, I was right behind that. How could I forget? Mo says Gomez to score.
Right behind everything.
Gomez to score, Sarib. Every time he gets the ball, there's a chant. There's a loud scream of shoot.
Oh man,
I think that needs to stop now.
If he scores, I will run outside naked in 2 degrees and I'll record
you.
You're half naked anyway on the show. You're nearly there. Here we go. Another pin. We're running out of room, Chin, for his chat, for his pin shots today. Alisson header from the corner. I think we're getting excited now. But
guys, just win the game, man. I don't really care what happens. Just win the game. I just want momentum going into the Arsenal game, and and Asim, the last thing we want is to drop before the Arsenal game. So we have to make sure that we put these guys to the sword, and we will. Honestly, like I mentioned, I've never been this confident going into a game, and I genuinely believe they're gonna feel it tomorrow. So hopefully, confidence, guys, be confident. They're getting it tomorrow.
Sarib, last thoughts before we go offline.
What can I end it with? Can I end it with a Okay. Question. Do Liverpool go unbeaten for the rest of the season? Now. One answer.
I think we do.
Gene?
I think we do.
Liverpool go invincible rest of the season. So that means we win everything, right? FA Cup,
Yeah,
Carabao
that's-
Cup, Premier League.
Look, I believe we win. I've said that we're going to win it all. I said at the start of the
That's
season.
right.
No, I didn't.
That's-
We win it
that's
all,
fine.
man.
That's fine. Liverpool
I
to
think
go.
we go unbeaten. Plenty of yeses. Plenty.
Asim,
of yeses.
you probably said that in August.
We are
Positive.
We are unbeaten at the moment. You can't count Tottenham.
Asim, your Wi-Fi. Kasme soy out.
He's supposed to be the host. He wastes all his Wi-Fi on his cameras and doing all this camera shamra in Anfield. He doesn't have Wi-Fi, good Wi-Fi at home.
No, I think
Let's move on.
I think because he had to restart it today. He had a bit of an issue with it. I think someone was wrong.
What Wi-Fi is he with?
God knows.
Let him come back because I don't want to end it without him being here because we can't end it without Asim. Asim, come back quick. Jaldi, aaja mara pada.
We'll lose the final day when the title's already on. Yeah, Liam, I'll take that tomorrow, mate. I'll take that tomorrow. Losing the final day when you've already won the title. I'll take that tomorrow.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you get it to you the face?
I can't. I don't know why. I don't know why that's the case.
you
But
just wanna get
I
it
think
in
that's
it.
a sign. I think
Why is it two of you?
Oh, that is wicked, though. Imagine
That
clipping
looks
that.
sick.
I think that's a sign. Let's go. Call it a night. But thank you very much.
That goes, there's two Asians.
Asim's, yeah, he said Asim's. That's Asim's.
That is wicked comment, man.
More like.
There's two Asians.
I need to clip that. He's right. BNI, only BNI two of me.
Oh, whatever, man.
That was Sky Sports. I think that was BT Sports.
Let's go. I think that is
TNT.
the way we end the show today. The quad is coming. Stay positive, and that's the way I like it. But the chat, I must say, is always brilliant. But today is unbelievable. Thank you very much for being so engaging, and keep the questions coming up. If you haven't liked the show, please bang a like. And I must say, we've still got 160 people over, and it's 11:30 in the building. Sorry, and I'm not going to make. Well, I am. I'm going to make you feel sorry for us every time we see those analytics that come through once a month. Honestly, Chin sends me a screenshot of it. Our viewers are, X amount, but 48% was it, Chin, or 43 of the viewers don't subscribe. I'm told that's pretty normal, but let's put it right. And Luke says, subscribe to the Kings. Thank you very much, Luke. And big up to all the support. Kieran was asking if I'm at the game tomorrow. I am at the game. It's going to be loud. It's going to be electrifying. And it's going to be awesome. Strap yourselves because this is going to be one big, massive ride. Take care. Have a good night.
Guys.
See you. Sarah. Bye-bye.
Like.